Hey guys, meteorologist Lindsey Slater here. So we had a pretty interesting night in Wisconsin. That's where I basically forecast from. This happened last night, I would say about 6, 7 o'clock. This is about the time I go to bed. I knew we had a CME launch. I did a whole thing about it on Monday. And I talked about the CME that was launched and we were waiting for it to arrive. Well, yes, it did arrive. Gave us a G3 level storm, but we did have a bunch of radio blackouts on Monday as well due to some solar flaring, but it also was associated with a CME, and that is what gave us this G3 storm. We could see some more, and that is because when you have the magnetosphere, which is the magnetic field of the Earth, it has been active now with that G3 storm, with all that storming. So it's honestly more likely to storm. It's kind of primed for more storming as we have another CME that looks to be arriving heading into tonight and into tomorrow morning. As you can see, G3 level storming is a possibility. Unfortunately for Wisconsin, we're going to be pretty cloudy tonight as we have some rain, but as it clears, maybe we could see something early in the morning. So right now, SWPC has a G3 watch as the coronal mass ejection has gone through. I would say we could see some strong, solar storming out of this. It's something that I have to watch. What stinks is that it does seem that a lot of this stuff peaks after I've already gone to bed. So then I can't warn you or tell you that you could see the northern lights. Last night we did have some of that. So here's a look from the 2nd. This is when we had that CME that launched, and I believe you can see that's where it launched from, this region right here. We also had a little bit of action over here. So right there you can see all of these beautiful, I mean, wow. That is absolutely, the fact that we have images this clear is really, really, really cool. Let's just be honest here, right? So this is the area of concern. This is what I've been watching. So we keep looking at this. This caused some radio blackouts. We got some real good, some of that activity that really picked up. I'm going to 94 for a second. No, not 94. Let's go to 304. Yeah. This is where we have a coronal hole. This is where we have some filaments right now. We have prominences flailing off the sun. That can actually cause some storming as well. If these filaments launch, they are basically plasma driven. Not a classic CME. That's when you have this stuff like right here. It looks like something lifted right there. This was on the 4th. This is probably where we had some CMEs, and right here. So this would be I would say this would be, there's a CME over on this side that's going towards like Mars, but this is center disk. This is our western or our eastern disk. That's our western disk, western side. It's backwards because it is from the sun's perspective looking at Earth. So we're not the center of attention. The center of the universe is the sun, at least in the Milky Way galaxy. So this is now the 4th. Go to the 5th. Look at that. That is just wow. That is phenomenal. Look, this actually did cause an X1 level flare. And then we did have a halo CME where it burst off and then it created this like halo around the sun. Very, very cool action there. So this is now the 5th. And this is where I think we had a CME that was launched from. We go to the 6th, and now it's getting into like Earth center, or if it moves in our direction, this is where we would be looking, which is why we had another CME launched yesterday, and the solar wind, so like the freeway of of space is moving so fast right now with all these other launches that it's going to hightail it. It's like the equivalent of having your car drive behind a semi, and you're kind of like cruising in through that air. So we have that going on right now. This is the latest, and you can see very active regions, 4275, 4274, 4272. These are the sunspot regions that are pretty active right now. So this is the Space Weather Prediction Center's modeling of that CME. So we can take a peek at it right there. See that? That's where it launched. So it was kind of south-centered, and you can see it had 3 different CMEs launch yesterday. That is incredible. Oh, from that region that I just showed you. One of these may be Earth directed, as we can see right here. This will be arriving. This looks like tonight at midnight. Oh, I hate the fact that it would be arriving as we have cloud cover, but yeah, that is pretty incredible. And the reason it's going so fast is because it's riding on some fast solar wind that we already had, so it's coming fast. This thing is like so this is really interesting. That's why we're under a G3 watch there. Something I will keep a close eye on for you guys, but I wanted to give you a heads up as to what I'm seeing. I typically do my space weather forecast stuff basically on Mondays, but I did want to show you some of the cool things that are happening right now. I do want to show you the actual CME launch. I think it's on SWPC's website. Let's take a peek together. It should be on LASCO. There's the halo. There's some stuff. Yep, there we go. There's one. I believe you'll get. Yep. There's another. I think that was it. So I wonder if I just go to LASCO. See if I can go backwards. Not LASCO. LASCO. LASCO Coronagraph. That's what we want, right? Let's see. There's a better one. I know there's a better one. I just got to find it. Sorry, guys. I just want to see this beautiful LASCO 2, LASCO 3. Okay. Great. Let me see you. Okay, that doesn't help me at all. All right, well, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get. Maybe the last 48 hours. Okay, good. This is what I want. I want a better view, though. Let's go. There we go. Okay, so here's 1, 2. Okay. There's a launch. There's a big one, halo around it. Okay, and I believe I'm waiting for that. This is what I'm waiting for right there. That guy. I believe there should be another one. There it is. Yep, there's 2. There's 3. See that? That's some pretty cool stuff. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm still not exactly an expert on this, but I do feel like we could get some storming out of this. We have a G3 level. We have G3 level. Basically a forecast for this. If I go to any radio blackouts, there's nothing big happening. I really quick want to look at the solar wind data to kind of highlight, not the wind prediction. Where's my solar wind? There you are, Ace. All right. So last night, right here. Oh, I don't want to go to Ace. We've got Discover back. So real-time solar wind. That's what I want. So last night we did have our BZ component down in our southern region for a good 6 hours. That's why people were able to see aurora. You have to have the magnetic field connecting at the right point. If the magnetic field is facing north, it's the wrong connection of those components. So we needed to go back down to south if we want to see some auroras tonight. But again, we also had a full moon. So I didn't even talk about it because I figured the full moon would obscure a lot of this activity. But either way, still very cool. I'll keep you guys posted and try to post as we get closer to these CME arrivals, but pretty wild. Yeah, you guys have a good rest of your day. I will see you soon.